The wilderness is disorienting. Alone in the wild, things can start to spin. Up is down, east is west. The wind blows cold and the sun burns hot. Panic can set in quickly. When the shadows of the trees threaten to attack, when the only bird song you hear is the caw of the raven, when the howls of coyotes beckon you to take shelter in their hungry den, the wild can devour you. The loneliness itself can eat you from the inside. The fear drools over your shoulder. Disconnected, you wander in circles, lost in the empty, terrifying wild. And our lives today feel wild, don't they? The jaws of division rip and tear us away from each other. Digital snakes slither under our skin. Packs of angry predators lure us into their snarling circles of rage. We know this wilderness. We wake up in it every day. But then a voice calls out in the wilderness. It's a real voice, a familiar voice, a voice that knows, a voice that's been out here before. It says, peace is yours if you want it. It sounds ridiculous at first, like a hallucination. Who promises peace in a place in a time like this? And yet you know the voice. You trust it. It's a friend. It's a neighbor. Piece of your own heart calling you back. It's the voice of connection. It's the voice of love pointing the way toward togetherness. It reminds you that out here in the personal wildernesses of our lives, it can be impossible to remember that God's love doesn't require a map to the church or a compass that always points toward guilt or shame. Peace can be found. God's love can be found in the shelter of your next conversation. John the Baptist is one of my favorite characters in Scripture. He's a honey and locust eating naturalist who proclaims the coming of a peaceful world in a time of political violence, social oppression, and spiritual exhaustion. He humbly stands in the frightening wilderness of his time and he says, I'm not the light, but the light is coming. I'm not the answer, but the answer will be revealed. I'm not the guide, but the way out of the wilderness will be shown to you. I'm not the one who will bring peace, but peace is coming. Mark's gospel begins with John the Baptist. The good news literally starts with someone saying, peace on earth ain't here yet, but I can assure you it's coming. What a crazy, crazy voice that must have been to hear. In the wilderness of the time, while so many of the people felt terrified by the shadows and howls and growls around them, a brave prophetic voice assures them that peace is coming. What a wild thing to say. What a wild thing to believe. What a wild thing to do, to proclaim peace before peace exists. And then Jesus is born. But he doesn't magically pull people out of the wilderness. In fact, he finds himself out deep in the wild a time or two. Instead, Jesus showed us how to find our own way out. He pointed us toward each other. Jesus taught that the way out of the shadows and away from the encroaching wolves is actually toward each other. The way out of the wilderness is to love our neighbor, to turn to one another, to find God in the people around us, to keep each other safe and warm, to rescue each other from each other's wilds. That's peace. Not the absence of snarling teeth and looming shadows, but the presence of community and the shelter of togetherness. This is why the Christmas story always passes through John the Baptist. Because before peace comes, someone has to proclaim it. Before Christ appears, someone has to point the way. Before peace exists, someone has to believe it's possible. And that someone, in this moment, right now, is us. We are the voice of the one calling out in the wilderness, reminding each other that peace is just on the other side of the desert of disconnection. Keep walking toward each other. Hey, Between is about you. Take this message out into your life this week and fill the space between you and everybody you encounter with your sacred light. My favorite church is the space between people. Now go, with God's love, create the church between.